Okay, listen. We got a guy down right now, locked down, probably in solitary confinement because his particular face and head is recognizable. And whenever you go into a jail and you're recognizable, I'm speaking from a place of experience here. They will put you into solitary confinement because you immediately become a special inmate. I was put in a glass cage of emotions whenever I was picked up walking through a parking lot at about 4 a.m. with no shirt on. Now, they have their story on why I was there. I have mine. Whatever the case, it was public intoxication. I was shackled, okay? I'm from Pittsburgh. We've talked about the South Side a lot. I didn't think I was anywhere near where I could have potentially been a couple times, maybe in college on the South Side, and maybe a horse cop down there just told me to get the fuck off the road. You need to get your ass home, dude. Hey, I'm done. In Indy, I guess, shirtless, 4 a.m. walking through the streets, somebody calls, you're going to get arrested. By the way, I appreciate that. Right move, okay? Helped me out a lot immensely in life. I mean, driving me home maybe would have scared me too into potential new life. But anyways, the whole experience I had now gets me a chance to relate to what happened to our guy down in Texas. He was sitting in a glass cage in there looking at the doctor's office, okay? Had to go and do his mugshot, had to have his little court appearance in the jail to set the whole thing up, and then he's going to get released under 2 ounces, I was saying, by the way, under a gram of weed found on Mr. Caruso, who's traveling through the airport in absolute worst case scenario, nightmare when traveling commercially or privately, obviously, but with nightmare whenever you travel commercially, okay? Is that you accidentally didn't check some zippered pocket in a bag that you were carrying, and you might have left, I don't know, maybe like a little bit of a pre-smoked already, half-smoked little cone that just fell down into the crack into the bottom. Yeah. So immediately while you're going through or up the escalators to go into the Indianapolis airport, for me, the one that I'm flying out, there is always oh shit, where did I have you last? You were at, oh yeah, you were in Mexico. There could be weed in here. Okay, so you got to do, you go right over to a garbage can. Okay, you go right to a garbage can. This happens, I would assume that you have seen somebody do this almost every flight where there is a last second, keys, cell phone, wallet. Is there weed in this bag? Because it's about to go through TSA here. So you do a full thing. He, I would assume, had this grinder in a pocket that might not have been easily visible to remind him that it was in there. And the fact that he gets arrested for a grinder in Texas for a plant that makes you feel better is a problem, obviously. Yeah. But for our guy Caruso, there was an overwhelming amount of support for him on the internet.
Thank God.
Hey, hashtag free Roos, dude.
Free Roos.
Free Roos, dude.
Braun helped him out. He said, hey, he tweeted out the gif of straight cash homie. So I assume LBJ went down there, paid whoever he needed to.
Yeah, but all you need is one asshole judge, right? That's all you need is one. Hey, you need one judge. No, I'm not going to point and judge anybody because I assume there's a lot of incredible people that would not have done. For instance, when I got arrested for my public intoxication, every other officer of the law that I ran into that worked in the department that this dude worked at and in the department in Ohio that had me pulled over on the side of the street told me that they would have never arrested me for a public intoxication. You ran into the wrong cop in this particular moment, which, by the way, I think we're all learning that there are a couple of those that we would like to eliminate, but reality tells us that there's probably always going to be fucking assholes. It's not cool, and I don't think the potential good people in that world love them either, but we got to figure that one out because they have a lot of power. But whenever you talk about going into one particular TSA agent or a campus police officer who, by the way, very easily could have just went, hey, you know what? Yeah. That's for tobacco? Yeah. All right.
Carry on.
Good luck. Yeah, just dump it out. Whatever fire Caruso probably had, by the way, plays for the Lakers. Let's assume whatever he had in there was unbelievable. That would have been a slap right into Caruso's mouth anyways, probably dumping out $50 maybe in there, right into a trash right in front of him. Or do what the guys at a stadium that Foxy and I went to. Yeah. They shook us down. They were security. They saw our vapes. They acted like we couldn't get in there with them. We're like, no, we can't. It's just tobacco. They're like, no, it's not. And they wouldn't let us go. They had a little bit of power. They just confiscated our vapes, took them, put them in their pockets.
Thank you.
Just kept moving. I wouldn't be surprised if they did this with Caruso's dope. Hey, he's got that Cali bud for sure, doesn't he?
Wow.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Some purple
yeah,
in
let's
there.
go ahead and lock him down. And by the way, that grinder's probably sharp too. I'm going to keep that. That's a shame. I wonder if he's out yet. I assume he's not even out yet.
Yeah, it's TSA agent.
I don't know if he's out. Dude, you got to go. You got to get. You got to do your whole thing.
And what are the laws like in Texas? Are they harsh on the marijuana possession? Or?
I don't know, because Texas seems like it's kind of opening up, right?
Yeah,
Elon's
50-50.
bringing in spaceships in there. Rogan's bringing his entire comedy scene.
Not
New
for the
Palo
devil's,
Alto.
not for the devil's lettuce.
Hey,
Listen, you can have your guns. You can do a lot of things. Not the devil's lettuce, my friend.
I can see
Trust
that.
me. Trust me.
Where
Someone
is-
who knows.
yeah. You lock it down, cowboy. Huh?
Yeah.
Where's who was it? Nancy Reagan, right? The nope to dope thing. Where are they from? California?
Reagan's?
Yeah, the Reagans are from California because I think old Ronald was not only a punter and kicker and football player, he was also an actor. right?
Superstar, yeah.
He was a superstar that got into the biz, shook some hands, and they said nope to dope. They went to war on this entire thing. I'd assume the Reagans have a lot of friends that are still in power down there in Texas that are potentially arresting somebody for a grinder in their bag going through the airport.
Figure Georgie Bush would just say, "Hey, don't you worry about it."
Zito pulled up the Texas weed law. Cannabis in Texas is illegal for recreational use. Possession of up to 2 ounces is a Class B misdemeanor punishable by up to 180 days in prison and fine up to $2,000 and the suspension of one's driver's license. Yeah, so he's standing in like a today at some point. He might be out. I don't know. You get a mug shot, you get processed, then you got to go stand in front of like a judge that's telling you what you're going to be charged. And it's the whole. You're standing. It's a much smaller courtroom. It's tiny. It's in the jail or whatever. You're standing, and the judge told me that it was whatever I did was punishable for like 90 days in jail. I was like, I actually said 90 days in jail, and something else. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, the lawyer guy that represented Mike Tyson.
Ooh.
And many others in this city, pretty high up. The guy that I seen at my rookie minicamp a week after I got drafted, he came and spoke to the team and said, if we ever see each other again, it's not good. And he was right, because the next time I had seen him, it was a judge telling me I could go to jail for 3 months. I go, what? And then something else, where are we? What are we doing? And him, I'm going to get you out of this. But I'm like, get me out of what? Get me out of what? And they're like, sir, just sit down. And so I sit down, they do the whole thing, and then I was on my way or whatever. But that's what Caruso's got to go through today. And they're going to say, punishable by 180 days in jail, maximum. And Caruso's going to go, what is going on down here?
You were on your way too, but little did you know that the people in the front of the police station were giving tips to the press. Hey, he's sneaking out the back door. Go get him. Go get him.
I thought that was my lawyer potentially.
Oh no.
Yeah, I thought it was. I don't know.
Because his
pub
face
for
is
him.
out there.
Yeah, because he's a very nice guy, and I've talked to him since, and he's obviously pretty powerful guy around Indianapolis, of course, because of his whole thing. But he said, as I was walking out, he's like, I'll drive you over to Colts facility or whatever. I was like, cool, because I didn't have my car. Obviously, it was still in Broad Ripple. I chose not to drive
Smart.
it, by the way.
Hey, how about that?
Thank you, Pat.
They don't
never
talk. They
gets
don't
talked
talk
about.
about that.
Yeah.
huh?
Smart.
I wasn't a bit. Listen, there was an era there where everybody seemed to be drunk driving, and that's why Uber and everything saved. That was never my. I was never my forte. I always thought that was pretty scary. I had a couple friends that, potentially made some poor decisions while drunk driving, ended up losing their lives, the whole thing like that. So that scared the shit out of me, but I didn't do that. So he said, I'll take you back to the Colts facility or whatever. I was like, thank you. And I go to follow him. He goes, no, you got to get your stuff or whatever still. And that's when I found out some money was missing that I definitely had. And then he goes, I'll meet you out the back though. And I think as soon as he turned that corner, he told me, he was like, yeah, we're going out the back or whatever. And they just sprinted out around there. Or maybe they saw him and they're like, oh, going out the back door with this guy, they sprinted around. But they came running around the corner with me popping out of that jail. And I looked to the car was right in front of me. I looked to my left and I see him or whatever. I'm like, all right, hood up. Here we go. I've seen this on the internet before. Yeah. Let's go hood up real quick. And somebody classic, like, did you bobble the snap on this one, Pat? And I was almost like, well, you motherfucker. You could have came up with something better. I heard from my mom. I heard from my dad that this was reported on TMZ like 5-6 hours ago. You guys have been waiting for this moment. Did you bobble the snap on this one? It's like, don't question my hands, okay? Yeah. Question my judgment. All right, question for sure, but let's not question my hands here.
Kicked it out of bounds, maybe.
Maybe
Like,
did you shank it? Maybe. Hey, don't question these hands.
Caught the ball.
Please.
Okay.
All right, I'm already fighting against enough right now. Don't question goddamn hands. It was, but that's what Caruso's going through right now.